You know I hate sleeping alone, but you said that you was only home. Baby, that was a long time ago. I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it.
Hello everybody, welcome. What is this called? I'm Chioma. I am here to talk to you guys today about different aspects in astrology. You know, people read birth charts or whatever, and you know you have your sun in your first house, your Jupiter in your ninth house. You might also have Jupiter making a trine to Mars, or the moon sextiling your sun. What does that even mean? We'll get right into it. So essentially, aspects in astrology are the way that the planets are communicating with each other. For instance, we'll use my chart. I have moon at 14 degrees Taurus, right? Any other planets that are around those degrees might be making contact to it. So let's dive a little deeper into that. So we have harmonious aspects and we have what we call difficult aspects or challenging aspects, hard and soft aspects. Hard aspects in astrology would be considered the opposition or the square. And then the harmonious, more easily flowing aspects would be the sextile and the trine. A neutral aspect would be the conjunction. And the conjunction is neutral because it is just a blending of energy. So it's not really inherently good or bad because the energies are just combined. We'll get into that. So conjunction, like we mentioned before, is the blending of energy. So it's the 0-degree aspect between planets. So it means usually that planets are in the same sign. Say for instance, my chart, I have Sun conjunct Saturn in my first house, meaning that my Sun and Saturn are likely in the same sign or within about 0 to 10 degrees of each other, being that my Sun sits at 15 degrees Pisces and my Saturn also sits at 15 degrees Pisces in my first house. So these two planets are conjunct, meaning that the planetary energies are blended. So you can't really see one planet without the other. You can't see my Pisces Sun without considering or seeing my Pisces Saturn. You can't see me just be free and be the sun and shine even though I have Sun in the first house because I have Saturn also in the first house. So you can't see one planet without the other. The planetary energies are combined. And blending and combining isn't necessarily good or bad. The nature of that aspect can be considered a hard aspect or it could be an easier aspect depending on the planets involved. Sun Saturn conjunct would be considered rather difficult because Saturn is a hard, stern, very limiting and blocking planet. It's a very strict planet, right? However, say for instance someone has Sun conjunct Venus in the chart, they're going to love this aspect. They're going to be very pleasant and sweet and harmonious to be around, probably very likable. They are beautiful physically but also have a beautiful heart on the inside. They enjoy luxury. It's an easier aspect. So the conjunction is neutral. The way it plays out depends on the planets involved, whether making it like a hard or intense type of aspect. So that's the 0-degree aspect, okay? So we're gonna move forward. We'll do the beneficial aspects, yes? So the next aspect would be the 60-degree aspect, which is the sextile. So when planets are 60 degrees away from each other. So typically we see this between planets of the same energy signature. So planets in feminine signs will sextile other planets in feminine signs. Planets in masculine signs or with the masculine energy signature are gonna sextile planets in masculine energy signatures. For example, if you're an earth sign, usually there's an air sign after you and then water will come next. So it's like every other sign sextiles each other to give you like a way to think about it in your brain. Pisces sextiles both Capricorn and Taurus because earth and water are both of the feminine energy signature. For instance, with masculine signs, so fire and air signs sextile each other. So Libra sextiles both Leo and Sagittarius because it's an air sign. It's 60 degrees away from both of the fire signs that surround it, yes? The sextile is a Venusian ruled aspect. So it's pleasant in nature. It creates opportunity between the planets. It's not difficult or brings tension or anything like that. It is very gentle and it usually brings a certain amount of likability amongst the two planets involved, or a certain amount of like, oh, I see you over there. I respect you. I let you be. I let you live. I don't have any issue with you. It's a cohesion because the planets are of the same energy signature. So you can see it and you look over there, you're just like, oh, hey, you know, it's friendly, creates opportunity. So for instance, if you have Jupiter sextile Mercury, Jupiter representing wisdom and knowledge and philosophy and inspiration or whatever, and Mercury being representative of your communication and small groups, this person would have maybe a lot of wisdom perhaps, and they'd be given opportunities, the sextile, to express those ideas and philosophies among their peer groups. That's that Mercury energy, the peer groups and the self-expression, okay? Expressing of ideas, grand philosophical ideas. Mercury is the communication of the ideas, Jupiter is the idea. So you have grand ideas, you have opportunities to communicate them amongst these types of people. That's how you think of a sextile. It's an aspect that creates opportunity. The signs work really well together. It isn't at all tense or anything like that. There is difference though, because earth and water are not the same, but there's cohesion, if that makes sense. Moving on, we have the trine aspect, which is another harmonious aspect. And now the trine is Jupiter ruled. So the trines are considered lucky. They bring gifts. They give you blessings. Trines make things easy. The energy is flowing fluid. It's just a saving grace type of an aspect. You have a planet making a trine to another planet. The blessings and rewards of both of those planets are accessed very easily. If they're making other aspects to other things, that could change. But that trine aspect is going to be really, really strong. And that's the 120-degree aspect. So you're going to see trines between planets in signs of the same element. So water signs trine other water signs. Earth signs trine other earth signs. Air signs to other air signs. Pisces trines Cancer and Scorpio because those are all water signs, and vice versa. Taurus trines Capricorn and Virgo. Aries trines Leo and Sagittarius, and Libra trines Aquarius and Gemini. Think of a triad. So there's 3 signs in each element, and there's 4 elements: earth, air, water, fire, right? 4 times 3 is 12, so that's the 12 signs. If you think about it, astrology is really just geometry, but that's a different topic for a different day. Trines are made between planets in the signs of the same element. Now, Jupiter's trine, because a trine is already Jupiter ruled, so if you have Jupiter or you see Jupiter making a trine to anything in a chart, that trine is going to be 2 to 3 times stronger because that's Jupiter's trine. Jupiter is making the trine or creating the aspect to the other planet, so it's going to be even more intensified, even more expanded. It's going to bring even more blessings. It's just even more activated and heightened. So trine aspects are usually, I don't want to say cohesive because that's more the energy of the sextile, but it's more abundant. It's blessed. Trines is blessed, okay? However, there is the tendency with too many trines in a chart, you can see people become a little bit lazy because the individual that thinks everything is supposed to come to them with ease, and it kind of weakens the work ethic. So they don't really have that drive or the determination. They're just kind of expecting life to fall into their lap, and that's not how things always work. But too many trines in a chart can result in some stagnant or boring energy. There's no like tension to promote growth, which we're going to get into next with the heart aspects. We've got the square. So square is the 90-degree aspect, and it's Mars rules. And Mars in astrology is known to be the aggressor, the warrior, the fighter. He's going after what he wants. So Mars brings a natural tension, a natural aggression, a natural irritation, a frustration between the planets involved. And we see squares from planets in signs of the same modality. So in astrology, there are 3 different modalities. There's fixed, there's cardinal, and there's mutable. Fixed signs square other fixed signs. Mutable signs square other mutable signs. And then cardinal signs square other cardinal signs. For example, Taurus is a fixed earth sign. So it's going to square the other fixed signs. So it's going to square Leo and it's going to square Aquarius. It's going to oppose Scorpio. But fixed signs square other fixed signs. We go to mutables. Gemini squares Pisces and squares Virgo. It opposes Sagittarius. We're going to get into the opposition later, but it creates a tension, a frustration. Think of squaring up. You square up when you get ready to fight. You're about to beat somebody up. You're ready. The tension. They're kind of ready to fight. There's an agitation. There's an irritation. It's like, I see you over there and I see how you doing what you're doing, but it's not how I want to do it. The planets involved in the square both want things to be their way. You're irritating me because you're trying to do it like this when it should be done like this. However, squares in a chart usually bring about great results because you have to work a little bit harder for it. You're agitated, you're frustrated, but you're more likely to bring about a result because you want to get it. You're driven. It's that Martian energy of wanting to accomplish and to win and to achieve something. You're more likely to really want to make something happen between those 2 planets. So there's an irritation that promotes growth, that promotes outcome. There's a little bit of internal conflict, but you get things done. For example, Mercury square moon. I have this aspect, right? My moon is in Taurus and my Mercury is in Aquarius. The way I internally feel and process emotions and the way I communicate them or process information are coming from completely different standpoints. So it's not very cohesive. Me expressing my emotions can kind of come off in a hurtful way or can be misinterpreted a lot of the times from other people because the way I communicate it isn't always how I feel. There's not a cohesion with how I feel and how I express. So because of that, you become aware of it and it irritates you because you're oftentimes misunderstood because you can't communicate how you feel so that people can understand you. And oftentimes it can come off a little bit hostile or aggressive because that square is a Mars ruled aspect. So my emotions and how I express them come off a bit irritated and agitated, and I have people lashing out at me and getting mad at me or getting defensive with me a lot because the way I express it isn't always what I mean or how I feel. The lesson in it was to think before you speak. But because I have this aspect, I'm more driven to communicate my emotions better or to figure out a way that works for me to communicate, to think more before I speak instead of of being so reactive, because the square is a Mars ruled aspect, so it's going to be reactive. I'm more motivated to really decipher my thoughts and decipher what I feel before I try to express them, and instead of being so quick to speak. And people are going to be perceiving me one way because I expressed it this way, but I actually feel a totally different way. That is that energy. That's that square energy. It's like two different things coming from two different standpoints and wanting it to be their way, but they kind of really need to let both exist in their own right and respect, like, oh, I see you over there. They need to learn to work together. Let you be you over there and I'm gonna be me over here. There's still common ground in between them. And it's kind of similar with the opposition. So moving on to the opposition. When two planets are opposing each other, it's meaning that they're on the same axis. Opposites attract type of energy. It's charged. It's a charge aspect. It's polarity. It's you're over here and I'm over here. It's not the square where it's like you're side-eyeing them. It's like you're literally opposite, up and down, left and right. Oppositions occur with planets in signs on the same zodiacal axis, meaning these planets are in the same energy signature and modality, but different element. So the same energy signature, meaning a feminine sign is always going to oppose a feminine sign. Yes? Period. And same modality, meaning a mutable sign is always going to oppose a mutable sign. What are the two feminine mutable signs? Feminine, earth and water, right? Mutable earth and mutable water going to oppose each other. So mutable water, Pisces, mutable earth, Virgo. So those two planets are going to be opposing each other. Let's do the same thing for cardinal. Same modality. So cardinal is the modality, correct? It's going to be same energy signature. So that means we're going to go with masculine. So cardinal, masculine. But what are the masculine elements? Air and fire. So cardinal air is Libra, cardinal fire is Aries. So those two are going to be the ones opposing each other. The other cardinal elements square, but the ones of the same energy signature oppose. Make sense? Now the opposition is the polarity, meaning that you guys have the common ground in the middle. It's like there's a centerpiece in between you, and one's over here and one's over here. The main goal, the main objective is the same because you guys are on the same axis, yes? However, you have different perspectives. So it's a teeter-tottering. For instance, if we're using Virgo and Pisces, it's the axis of service. You guys both love to be of service. Pisces likes to be of service to people emotionally. They wear their emotions, they want to heal. And you can even call this axis the axis of healing. Virgo wants to be a healer too, and they want to be of service to others in the material world. They want to help make your life easier. They want to synthesize everything, find all the details and organize everything so things work and run more efficiently and more organized. They want to make sure things that are aligned so that life is more simple for the people around them. Pisces wants to take all the emotions and carry them for other people so that they don't have to be sad and so that they can live and do what they need to do. So that's that axis. If both of you wanting to be of service to others but coming at it from different perspectives, Pisces wants to do it from the spiritual perspective, Virgo wants to do it from the earthly material world perspective. But at the core of it, the center of that circle, y'all both just want to help people. Y'all both just want to be of service, but y'all doing it in different ways. With this aspect, it's important. Kind of with the square, let you be you, but no, it's like you both need the other. Pisces benefits from having that Virgo because Pisces can get lost in the dream world, too spiritual, too far out. Virgo can be too obsessive with the material and needs to kind of take a load off and escape a little bit and relax sometimes. Pisces is too relaxed, Virgo's too uptight. It's a perfect balance, the opposite energy. And it can be chaotic a bit sometimes, and it can be a bit like triggering. You can be repulsed by it because they are polarized. However, if you can find a way to work together, with the square you work together, letting you stand in your own right. With the opposition you compromise. So it is a working together, but it's compromising. It's like, okay, you learn to adapt some of the other person's traits. I see how you do that, I can learn from you. And then this other person's like, oh, I see how you do that, I can learn from you. And then you're able to really get results and accomplish things better together because you have two heads are better than one, yes, of course, but also you have a different perspective helping you achieve the same goal. You have a better approach, you have a better understanding, a more encompassing understanding, yes? You're just able to achieve the goal faster, more practically, more efficiently when you have both of what you need. It's like, you can do it all by yourself, sure, but if you're able to get access to the other side of your axis, your opposite, you're able to accomplish that same thing. You have more knowledge, you have more tools, you have more resources when you are able to find the compromise and learn from the other person and understand the other person. With the square, you're not trying to understand. I'm gonna let you be you, I'm gonna be me, we gonna work this shit out. With the opposition, it's like, I'm gonna learn from you and we both grow, we both accomplish what we need to accomplish. So it's very magnetic if you can learn to get in the flow of an opposing energy. You can learn to really just sit in it and be like, okay, I see you over there doing that, let me learn. Both people have to be willing to learn. You can't let one energy supersede the other one. You can't let one lead the way, you can't let the other lead the way. They both have to be present and they both have to play their part. If one person is doing more of the work and it's falling into, you know, the ways of the other, it can be you start to harbor resentment. But if you both are able to stand in your own power and learn from each other, it's a great mix. So ultimately, that is what I have. These are all the major aspects in astrology. I didn't do any like quincunx or semi-sextile or biquintile or quintile or sesquiquadrate or anything like that. It's just all the major aspects in astrology. If you like this video, thank you. You're more than welcome to book a consultation through my website. I have all my services listed there and all the things I offered and the type of charts that I read. I do relationship and birth chart readings. I have a plethora of different things that I offer. My website is chiomanaomi.com. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something today. It was a pleasure sharing this information with you guys. Hopefully it was helpful. So until next time, goodbye.